Good evening, everyone, and happy homecoming. I'm Brian Holloway, your host for the Aggie Pridecast, and very excited about homecoming week. And wanted to have a Instagram takeover type Aggie Pridecast. These two young ladies took over our Instagram page on NCAT Athletics and had a lot of fun with it. I had a lot of fun with it. I mean, I just enjoyed watching the day in a student athlete at North Carolina A&T. And so that's what we want to talk about today as we get set for the end of the week here for GHO. We got Friday coming up, and then we got the game on Saturday, the concert, gospel concert on the yard. All of those things are going to happen down at the plots, and hopefully everybody will have a good time. Hopefully everybody will be safe here at GO, but just trying to get a perspective on what it is like for student athletes in terms of GHO. Wanted to get some guys up here, wasn't able to work that out, but the ladies are in the building, and so certainly we are happy to have them here. Cameron Caldwell from our North Carolina A&T softball team. Hey, Cameron, what's going on?
Hey, Mr. Holloway, how you doing?
Doing all right. How you doing? And then we have one of my favorites, Luciana Weaver, North Carolina A&T women's track and field super hurdler. She jumped into the hundreds too. She got into the hundreds a little bit, and then her 4x100 team broke the CAA outdoor record at Marcus T. Johnson track last year. So she is an all everything for us. She wants to do a little women's basketball for us this year. So she's an Aggie through and through. Out of Florida. And then we got Cameron Caldwell. So just kind of want to start out by letting you ladies kind of tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about your journey to A&T. Tell us a little bit about your time here at North Carolina A&T. So just so folks can get to know you, where you're from, what your major is, just kind of give us the bio. We'll start with Cameron.
So hey guys, my name is Cameron Caldwell from Atlanta, Georgia. I currently study kinesiology and I am a senior. And so just to talk a little bit about my journey to North Carolina A&T, both of my parents attended HBCUs in undergrad. So it was kind of like a no-brainer for me growing up. Like I definitely wanted to go to an HBCU and understanding like what a historical Black college and university means for me. Just growing up just means like, especially being in the heart of Atlanta, just understanding that you're in the Black Mecca, especially in Georgia, just understanding being around all of the Black culture and getting an opportunity to grow up around that really pushed me to go towards the HBCU route. Now, in terms of going out of state, my mom really pushed for me to go out of state just so I can get some more experience outside of just being in Georgia. And I've played sports since I was 8 years old. So softball, I've been playing since I was 8. But in high school and middle school, I was pretty much in every other sport you could think of other than lacrosse. So just coming to North Carolina A&T, I know I definitely wanted to be a physical therapist. And I heard some great things about their kinesiology program. And then going into the softball route, my senior year, I actually got injured. A really bad knee injury that kind of like took me away from looking towards scholarships, but I was with the coach up here and she said I could do a walk-on tryout. So I walked on here on the softball team and I've had a great experience ever since. I wouldn't take anything back. So yeah.
You're a walk-on? Seriously?
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
I was the only one that made it my freshman year. So
wow.
Yeah, I do want to shout out everybody that was there for my freshman year that helped me. It was like the whole hall my freshman year, my whole dorm literally would be in the back practicing, throwing tennis balls, throwing softballs, different things to prepare me for the tryout. So yeah, it's been a journey. It's been a very long journey, but it's a great journey.
Yeah. We got to get back into that. I didn't know you were walking. Wow, Cameron, that's awesome. That's pretty awesome. I had no idea. You don't play like one, man. You're big time. Wow. Okay. ATL is in the building.
On the floor.
So what now?
I just try to live up to what Luciana puts on the floor. She's the Luciana Weaver.
Yeah. That will make you successful. If you're trying to live up to that, that will make you very successful. Shout out to kinesiology. I got someone that is near and dear to me in that department, and so there's certainly a shout out to kinesiology. Let's move on to Miss Weaver. Tell us a little bit about you, your journey, and it's your 5th year, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, I have a redshirt year. So, hi, my name is Luciana Weaver. I am from a small city, Fort Myers, Florida. I came here so I actually didn't get to do like any visits because it was during like COVID year, that kind of funky type thing. It sucked. But what kind of really drew my attention is what I believed at the time, like the coach who was at this school. My freshman year, I feel like, I'm a hurdler. I'm going to go towards the school that is for the coach that specialized in my event. So, and that was, the coach that we had at the time. I actually, A&T was not in my top 5. I didn't expect to be in the position that I am today. So, I thank God for that. So growing up, it was just me and my mom, and then I have 6 siblings. And I've been running track since I was 7, but I stopped, due to like financial issues, like with my mom and stuff. She wasn't able to, afford club track, whatever. My dad, he was killed 2 weeks before I was born, so he was a track athlete as well. So like just growing up, having that little motivation, something to run for. I have younger siblings. I love my siblings to death. Like they really look up to me. And like I said, just the situation my mom was in, it was just my mom and us, and she did everything she could to get us the lifestyle. So I kind of think like that really gave me like the go-getter in me. Like everything I do is because I see my mom. She just wake up and go get it. I remember in high school, freshman year through high school, through senior year, I was working 3 jobs. I would get out of class, I would go to practice, and I would go from one job to the next, and I have to get back up at 6 a.m. to go to school. So like I've always been this go-getter. I always had a, it's always earn, never given mentality. And that's just how I kind of grew up. So just being blessed. I started hurdling too. I took it like serious my junior year of high school. So I didn't expect to be on a scholarship, come to school and run and collegiately at a collegiate level. So coming here, like I say, it's not on my bucket list, but it's honestly one of the best things that could have happened to me. I feel like God makes no mistakes. Everything happens for a reason. And, I met some of my closest friends here. They really got me through college. I learned a lot about myself. I've grown in a lot of ways. And yeah, I'm a psychology major. I graduated in May though. So I re-enrolled in the school, and I graduated again in May with a kinesiology degree. I said kinesiology. I'm sorry. I meant criminal justice. I'm a criminal justice. I was thinking about Karen when she said kinesiology. But no, so like I graduated again this upcoming May with a criminal justice major. And what, steered me to being a, psychology major is I knew I wanted to deal with kids. Like I said, it was a lot that I went through growing up. I love kids. I love kids. I love helping people. I think that's my nature. And I feel like psychology degree, you can go off and do anything with it. So I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but I stuck with that. And then criminal justice major kind of goes with it. So that's why I re-enrolled into that. But I would take nothing away from coming to the school. I love it. I love being surrounded by people who are like me. It's just like one big family. And like I said, I learned a lot about myself. I learned, I've done things that I didn't think I would be able to do, build a lot of confidence being here, and love my coaches, love Coach Johnson, love the family that I made here. So I wouldn't trade for anything.
Outstanding. Look at God. Boy, we got the right 2 guests tonight. I tell you that much. These some great stories right here. That's an awesome journey. Cameron, so your idea when you came to A&T was that you were going to play softball, or did you decide to play softball once you were on campus?
So my mindset going in, my father was a college coach for football, and then he went into the high school aspect again, because prior to that he was at Mays High School coaching. And so having that coaching side of him, it was just like, oh no, like you're gonna play. Like he had enough confidence in me as a father, so it was like, I already know I'm gonna play. So my mindset going into college was, I'm gonna go to college, I'm gonna study kinesiology at North Carolina A&T, but I'm going to play a sport. And at the time before I had got injured, everybody thought I was gonna come somewhere for track and field throwing. And that's where my injury occurred. And so going between seasons and everything else, I like really knew like softball was my heart. Softball's been my heart since I was 8 years old. So I already knew like coming in, oh yes, I'm definitely going to be playing a sport here. I'm definitely going to be playing softball, especially seeing who was all on the team. I knew I was going to be playing. So yeah, that was kind of my mindset going in.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe if you have another year somewhere down the line, you can do some shot put for Alan Johnson and those guys. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe discus. You never know. Yeah, you never know. At what point did you feel like I got this? Like, this is a scary proposition. I'm a walk on. I'm trying out. At what point did you feel like I got this, and who got you there? Who would you say got you there?
I would say my two support systems, my mom and my dad. Unfortunately, my dad isn't here with me anymore. He passed during my finals week of freshman year.
Oh man.
So all I can say is that was a long journey and a long year to get through, especially with him being a big support system, a big reason why I was like, you know what, let me try out. But I would say above all, like my mother, like Luciana said, it's something about the way that our moms raised us and taught us like how to be great young women. And just being the women that we are today, just for me personally, like my mom really pushed me and said, look, the worst that you can hear is no. And I
Yeah.
think that's what I carry with myself every single day because the worst
And
that
it's
I could hear that
100%
day
of the shots you don't take.
was no. Come on, come on. That's 100% the shots that you don't take. So in my mind, it was like I need to go ahead and take the shot, and if I miss it, I miss it. But no never means no forever. Like I could have tried out again the next year, perfected my craft a little bit more, done whatever I needed to do. And I'm actually really grateful that I got that opportunity because I didn't really get the opportunity to play my freshman year with the coaching staff that was kind of set. I don't know if you guys remember, but Patty ended up leaving that November, and then they brought in the interim. So I just going along with all of that, it was a blessing in disguise. I do have an extra year, so being a senior now is kind of like looking back at everything. I like how the puzzle kind of like fell into place. But I would definitely have to say my mom and my father.
Great. Yeah, I want to talk IG, but this is so good, because you're bringing up another thing, and I want to talk to both of you ladies about this, and I guess we'll start with Luciana with this, but both of you went through a lot of transition in terms of leadership within your respective sports, and Luciana hit on a little bit with Coach Ross leaving for Tennessee, and fortunately for her, she got another hurdler coach in Coach Johnson, but
I know.
but how as a student athlete, as a person that's in their teens, early 20s, deal with, the transition of leadership within your program? I'll start with you, Weaver.
So like you said, I think the plus was the fact that we were able to get another hurdle coach, and he's a excellent hurdle coach. And not to take anything away from Coach Ross, but like his accolades and stuff, it's up there. And also, not only do we have him, but we have Coach T as well, and he's up there too, and on the sprints and the hurdle side. So I feel like Cam said, like just the way the puzzle pieces laid out, like the fact that my freshman year I actually pulled my hamstring, so this is where the redshirt season is coming from. I wasn't able to run indoor and outdoor season at all because I had a really bad hamstring tear, and just the fact that like I wasn't able to run under Coach Ross, but he left, and then we had, it's a crazy backstory too. In high school, right, I went to this hurdle camp. Let me tell you how God works. Oh my God. High
Go ahead,
school,
let's preach.
high school, I went to this hurdle camp. It was at JDO in Winston-Salem. Coach Johnson was there. He has old videos of him coaching me in high school, like at the hurdle camp, and I had to be like a sophomore at this time. And so the way that like life works and plays out, the fact that but he was at NC State at this time, and he was recruiting me, but it was kind of like a last minute type recruit thing. He was assistant coach, so the fact that now he's here as my head coach, it's like life just played over all over again. And now like he's my coach when he was recruiting me as an assistant coach, and I was a sophomore in high school when I was at his hurdle camp. So like I feel like it's definitely a difference. It's a transition. Like I said, not to like down talk Coach Ross or anything, but I feel like their coaching style is definitely different. Like Coach Ross was like a business aspect, like, track is business. And granted, track is definitely business. But when I say I love Coach Johnson, I dearly mean it. He's literally like my best friend, like a father figure. Like he'll check on you mentally. Like you can call him 10, 11 o'clock at night, and them not the times he wants you calling his phone, but if you absolutely need something, like Coach Johnson is always there. He literally has an open door policy. Like just like I have a relationship with him on not only a coach's aspect, but a personal aspect as well. He always gonna ask how you feel. I'm from Florida, so we get a lot of hurricanes. So it was one point where we had that really bad hurricane, Hurricane Irma, and like I didn't hear from my family for like a week. He called and asked me every single day, "Have you heard from your parents? Have you heard from your family? Have you heard from your family?" Like he genuinely cares, and I've never met a coach more passionate about him, like not only about track, but just like the well-being of their athletes. Like I feel like it definitely helps athletes. We go through a lot of mental health things, but he definitely takes a lot of load on athletes because he's always there and he makes it known that he's always there. So that's definitely a big transition. I feel like I didn't really get that with Coach Ross. And I'm not saying that he's not that type of person, but that's just not something I experienced under him. But I experienced it like 110% under Coach Johnson. So
yeah. No doubt, no doubt. Love to Coach Ross and Coach Johnson, man. Two outstanding gentlemen and two men that I respect immensely. So shout out to both of those guys. And you brought up mental health. I want to get back to that too, man. So much you guys are adding here. But Cameron, talk about, because you really had it. I mean, you talked about it a little bit like, and with the hair. Yeah, with the do the hair. Yeah. But yeah, you were really under it and kind of making the team as a walk-on. I had to be a little nervous for you. Can you kind of take us through that?
I actually would say I didn't get nervous until my sophomore year. I think my freshman year, I was so in the mindset that I can do anything that I put my mind to. And I've had a lot of failures growing up, like a lot. And I think for me, that's another reason why I had that mindset. I know I'm going to play in college. Regardless of anything that happens, I'm going to play. And I put my full faith and my trust in God. And so once again, I go back and reiterate, I'm thankful for the path that happened. And I'm thankful for everything that has happened with the program and in the order that it has. Because I don't think that we would, one, have the coaching staff that we have today, and two, have the girls on the team that we have today. So just speaking on the coaching staff, before we had Patty Radunes, I only met her for like one singular month, like just in person on that type of aspect. But after that, we had, it was Coach Diego. He came in from UNCW. And then that's when things kind of got a little shaky. And so somewhere in the middle of that spring freshman semester, he had to go. And we ended up getting Coach Hendricks. So some things happened, but Coach Hendricks stepped in, and we're all really appreciative of Coach Hendricks. And I'm sure almost everybody in Cat Athletics, including the freshmen now, should know who she is. She's a great person to call on. She's there whenever you need her, and she's there even on the side of rehabilitation, just not even as a coach. She's there all around. But going into my sophomore year with the new coaches, Coach G, who is Coach Jose Gonzalez, the staff that he brought in was amazing. I think during that sophomore year was like a big rebuilding phase. And so it was kind of like what are we all thinking? Like, how's everybody feeling? We have a little injury over here. We have a little mental over here. Like, how is this all going to work? But I felt like Coach G really came in with the plan and really tried to help us gather each other up so that we could become a whole team again after losing so many coaches the year prior. And then even today, like, a lot of people you hear about transferring out and leaving because of the staff, and I truly can't say anything, but Coach G has done a great job for this program. Like the new coaching staff that he has in this year as well, they're great people, and they're not just coaches. Like Luch said, your coaches should be like your family too. Every team is like a family, and I feel like I couldn't have asked for better coaches. Like Coach G's there as a coach, but he's also there as a father. And like I said, I did lose my father, but I still have that father figure that's there for me. But he's also holding me accountable as an athlete, like making sure my grades are there, making sure that I'm mentally okay. And he understands that as young women, sometimes we have things going on and we might not be able to vocalize it in that moment, but he's just always there for us. And I just really appreciate him as our coach. So, yeah.
Outstanding. Shout out to Coach A. I see her over there. She's listening to us. Shout out to her, no doubt. Stephanie LeGrand. She's a big fan of you ladies. Y'all are doing a great job. Y'all are knocking this out of the park. No question about it. Katina Red wanted to know what scripture that you used today on your Instagram, Weaver.
Hey. Oh, I love this question. Hold on.
We lost Weaver. We got a avatar there instead of Weaver.
Okay. I'm back. Okay. So, like I said, one thing I am working on is emotions because I get flustered. You know, track practice didn't go well. Track meet didn't go well. I feel like I get to doubting myself, and the worst thing you do is doubt yourself. I feel like all sports, it's 99% mental. But so let me tell you what I did today. One second. It was It was Jesus was emotionally attuned. He wept, he grew weary, he expressed anger, but he never sinned in his emotions. His heart broke for others, yet he remained anchored in truth. Jesus didn't ignore his emotions. He modeled what it looks like to feel deeply while staying rooted in God's will. We are invited into the same spirit-led emotional life where compassion and boldness coexist in holiness. And also the verse John 11 verse 35 is just Jesus wept. And then Matthew 9:36, when he saw the crowds, he had compassion on them because they were harassed and helpless like sheep without a shepherd. So, yeah.
There we go.
That's what I did today. And like
Yeah.
I said, even if I go through like when I do my Bible study, I may not understand what exactly is being told or what I'm getting for it. I typically get more in depth on it, but I feel like, not many people are, spiritual when it comes to things like that. You kind of grasp it onto things that, help you in a way, but I definitely feel as if, just find something to help you cope with certain things that you go through. And with me understanding, I feel like I said, my childhood affects me in ways like, my emotions. I overthink and all this stuff, and it track adds to that. So kind of just diving deeper into the root of your problem, and I feel like that helps. Like, I'm a reader, I write a lot too. If I can't really say what I have to say, I'm gonna jot it down. So that helps me. And then my necklace that I have on right here, actually, it's 563. You can't really see it. It's Psalms 563. But the verse of that is it says, my soul be hold on, my bad.
Take your time, preacher.
Hold on. My friend actually got it for me for my birthday. I'm gonna give you the meaning of it. Hold on. Yeah, so it's, when I am afraid, I put my trust in you, and it just emphasizes like the moments of fear, trust in God, remain conscious choice, offering comfort, security in a path from negative responses and difficult situations. I never take it off. I always have it on. So, God forbid it never breaks. I will be sad, but
it's not gonna break. It's not gonna break.
It's not. Yeah. It's never about the blood of Jesus. Amen.
Yes.
Yeah. That's right. It's in the Bible anyway. So yeah, you can go ahead and take care of it. Sure. I'm just trying to figure out when the church, when you guys start your own church, let me know so I can be in attendance. I just want to be able to, when you guys are up in the pulpit, I just want to be there with you or whatever. No doubt about it. But certainly, thank you for that. And for two young ladies who both lost their fathers, I wanted to just kind of ask, starting with you, Cameron, how that affected you and how that affects you even now, today, not having dad.
That's a really great question. I feel like that was worded so perfectly, because I feel like sometimes people can like beat around like, oh, how do I ask? But it's still emotional to this day. I think for me, the biggest thing is just that I couldn't thank God enough to have such a supportive mom that like still helps me through everything, because of everything that's been going on. And just even with my injuries, like I've had in like the recent years with softball, it's like I would usually call my dad and be like, Dad, what is going on? And he would like cheer me up and everything else. And my dad was the type of father that would call you at 4 o'clock in the morning just to say I love you and then hang up. Like, sir, I have this at 6 a.m. in the morning. But that would be like our joke. And anybody back at home always knows, like, that's my road dog. He would always call me his road dog. Every summer we would go to the park. He plays slow pitch. So we would go to the park. I'd be watching him play with someone like the local ATL kiddos and just go around the park running around being bad. Not really, I'm just playing. But whenever you saw him, you just knew I was going to be right by his side. And I think for me, the toughest part is just going into this year. There's a woman named Miss Christine. She does the Life After Sports. And I had a conversation with her the other day, and I was just telling her I think a lot of my anxiety of graduating is now coming up because my senior year, I had my dad there at graduation. Whereas now it's like, ooh, he's not here. So I think for me, it's kind of just trying to figure out still how to go through the grieving process, because there is no real way to grieve somebody that you pretty much like that's like your best friend. But at the same time, I've just kind of learned that for me personally, it's no harder death than losing a parent for me. Just because I've experienced losing certain friendships, certain things from my life, certain things within my major, and it doesn't hurt as much as when I lost my father. Whereas before, like my freshman year, my grade had went to like an A-. And for some people, it's not a big thing. But when you have two parents that are teachers, when you got two parents that are teachers, that's big. Whereas like that like crushed me. But now it's just like, okay, it's A-. I can bring it back up. Like we'll figure it out. But it's just like the small things do matter. But it's just not having my dad there to like call even during the day. Like my mom, she's got a promotion, so her job requires her to be there a little bit more meetings. I can't just randomly call my mom and be like, hey, you want to chat? Whereas with my father, I could, because he was on medical leave and other things else, and he was volunteering with football. So it's kind of up and down. Some days I'm having my great days, some days I'm having my bad days. And Mr. Holloway, I know you've come to some of the games. Like when I'm having those really great games, it's nobody that I want to call more than my father, because I know my mom is already in the back right there supporting me in her chair. Like she front and center already ready. So I think for me, it's more so just still trying to figure out that grieving process, still trying to figure out how to navigate different relationships with friends, people, teachers, and everything else, college, and just trying to figure it all out. But also just not having him here. But I know that God has me. I know that he continues to pour into me each day to teach me patience. And that's kind of what I've been learning in my journey this past year, just learning to be more patient and more understanding of the process, because I know at the end of this road, God is going to have something great for me. He's going to have something great for my team and everybody else that's around me. So I'm just staying patient. I'm just staying true to his word, and I'm just staying true to God. So that's pretty much it.
And like to piggyback what you said, first of all, there's no time frame to grieving. You can never put a time on it, because like I said, my dad got killed 2 weeks before I was born. I never met him, and I know it's very difficult for you, especially if it's difficult for me, because you got to experience your father. I never did. So it's like I always think about, how could this have been? How could this have been? How could this have been? And like, just watching people, everybody says that a guy needs, their father, but a daughter does as well. It's certain ways that your father teaches you and stuff like that. So like I said, just watching my mom do certain things, it made me the person I am today. So I'll never take that away from her. But like, I always wonder, how would it have been having my dad? Like right now, I get out of school, out of class and stuff, go to practice, and I got to go to work. If my dad was here, Dad, send me some money. I don't want to go to work. Send me some money. I don't want to go to work.
I know that's right.
Like even now, like I'm in college and I have 2 jobs, because like one, I have bills that needs to be paid. I'm an adult. It's going to get done regardless. But it would be nice to my mom has all my younger siblings, so I let all her funds go to them, and I can, I had a hustle mentality growing up, so I'll pay for myself. But I would have definitely, and I'm the youngest too on my dad's side, I would have definitely been hitting his line every day to send me some money for something. So.
No question about it. I don't know if I want to go mental health, but I'll go here. You mentioned, you're having to work, Luciana. Now we're talking about this whole new dynamic in college athletics, NIL, all of those kind of things. And a lot of times the older adults are having the conversation. But I'm just wondering, from a student athlete standpoint, as we launch these campaigns, as we talk about, raising money and doing all these kind of things, how does the college life, in terms of having to be a student athlete, go to class, having to kind of survive, in terms of money. How does that impact you, and what is the importance of, the new way college athletics is being, conducted now with NIL collectives, all those kind of things? How does that impact? I guess starting with you, and then we'll go to Cameron.
So like, are you asking how does receiving what I'm sorry, I'm just trying to understand your question.
Just
So
how important is it that
that we receive
this money
NIL?
can be available for student athletes,
Okay.
considering the kind of days that you guys have to,
Yeah,
hours you
okay.
guys got to put in?
Okay, yeah. Okay. So I feel like that would be like, it would be great. Like it would be helpful. Like because if like people like me, and I'm sure like it's other people in similar situations. Like I'm from out of state. I'm like 17 hours away from home, and I do everything myself. Everything myself. I fund myself groceries. I fund myself car note, car insurance, like everything. If even if I want to do like self care days, I fund it myself. So just trying to, if it would be nice if we didn't have to work, if the athletes didn't have to work, if we were being able to bring in that type of money. Because I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I get up, I'm a tutor for math, so I tutor other students. So I get up, the Bible study, all of that stuff, eat, sometimes I have to lift, and then I tutor, then I have to go to practice. Practice is from like 2 to 3:30, and then right after that I have to go home and shower because I have to go to work from 4 to 10. I don't really get to wind down to like 11. So it would be nice if sometimes that like I don't have to do all that, because then harder days at practice, I would like to get in the ice tub, or I would like to, do a longer type of dynamic and static stretching to be able to just, fully recover. I feel like us having to go to work and stuff, especially for me, sometimes I have to cut my recovery short because I have to get to work on time, because I need the job, because I have to work, because I have bills to pay. So I feel like just like it would be it's very like beneficial for us like student athletes, because we have 24 hours in a day, but with athletes I feel like we only have 10, because we're constantly doing something like that. And it would be nice to just have free time to ourselves. Like I feel like another thing with mental health, your life being wrapped around, it's something we signed up for, of course, but your life being wrapped around a sport, it can kind of be overwhelming. So being able to separate the two and having free time to do something else on your own, it would be great. But some people don't have the funds to do so. Some people have to go to work. So I feel like it'll definitely be beneficial to be able to have access to that type of thing. We can put it to use. We will put the funds to use. We will put the funds
Yeah,
to
that's
use.
right. That's right. It'll pay some bills, no question.
Yeah, we'll,
Uh,
we'll put it to use.
Cameron, what would you tell those who are thinking about donating to A&T Athletics, Aggie's All In campaign, and how that impacts the student athlete at North Carolina A&T?
On in terms of like NIL, right?
NIL, yeah, yeah.
It's the same thing that I tell each recruit. I'm pretty sure I was kind of the first person on my team to start doing NIL, and I kind of learned through Luch and some of her teammates about post game. So that's kind of where I started originally. But there's been some new, different things that have kind of been instilled, especially from other fellow HBCU athletes that I've just been noticing that I'm probably going to start touching on my personal Instagram page this coming week, just because I feel like it's important to still support our other, fellow HBCU alum. But just to go into the side of NIL, I think that it's unfortunate that as athletes, especially being a D1, regardless if this is an HBCU or a PWI, that we have too many athletes that are working jobs when, like Luke said, it's 24 hours in the day. But let's be completely honest, half of the time, those places are either open up until 10, maybe 12 o'clock, and sometimes even well past that. So imagine you're an athlete working up until 5 o'clock in the morning and you got practice literally like 5 hours later, but you also have like maybe one or two classes before that, then another class after practice. You still have to study, and then you're going right back into your shift that night or even during that day. So I feel that it's already hard to miss a lot of the things like those social connections, the networking that we talk about in college because we're athletes. But at the same time, I feel like it's even more unfortunate that we're missing out on that because we are having to work. And so I started to do NIL because my mom is a teacher, and we all know how much teachers get paid. But my mom has always been able to make it work. Like, she's the oldest of 4 children that my nana had, and she's there. So just understanding like, okay, wait, can I call my mama real quick? Spare me like $25. Yeah, I can go make $25 on myself with NIL. And so it's just like also knowing yourself and knowing your personality. I feel like NIL has definitely brought out a new side of me. And just with some of my personal videos, I've taken a lot of them down just because I'm refurbishing. But even with just some of my NILs, like I looked up to Luch, I looked up to Julius Nwosu, who just recently graduated this past year, and just some of the other track athletes, because like I said, I learned from them. Just seeing how they did their NIL and seeing how they put their personality in the NIL, I wanted to be able to do that. And I'm more on the comedic side where I like to add in little jokes, which is also what I did during our day in the life. Because I feel like laughter brings everybody together. And that's something that I've always wanted for NCAT athletics. It's just to bring the student body within NCAT athletics as well. So just incorporating all of that within NIL, I feel like it's taking me to another level of my personal self. But it's also taking me to another level of looking at NCAT athletics and just looking at other athletics at other schools, seeing why these students have to go work, being an out-of-state student, having to pay the tuition that we have to pay, just looking at the different things. And then you have people who are in Luch's situation who have bills, who have to provide and do what they need to do and hustle. And I, once again, Luch, I condemn you. I look up to you because I know personally I would eventually have to, suck it up and get it done. But it shouldn't have to be like that. It should not have to be, dang, now I got to go to work. I missed out on this, or I'm missing out on this study time. I'm missing out on this homework. And you got an assignment or a test due the next morning. So I think NIL does set a standard for us to at least learn and grow and network in that aspect. But I don't think right now it's enough where we're not like on the status of Angel Reese.
We're not seeing.
Yeah.
Because
I'm
not gonna disclose the business or whatever, but I was doing NIL for, a particular company. What was it? It was like last year or something, but we made, a couple videos and stuff like that. And we were supposed to be seeing, our funds and stuff at the end of it. And we never received it. So I don't even know how that's supposed to work or whatever. But, it's crazy. I was looking forward to that. I was looking forward to the funds. Videos was nice. And, I love being able to be, I'm a very dependable person. Like everybody can reach out to me, say, hey, Luch, can you join this? Or hey, Luch, can you do this, this, and this? And I love what I do. I love being able to shed light and, my personality, have people get, feel of my personality. I love doing stuff like that too. But so I feel like NIL is good, but we are not reaping the benefits of it just yet because we are slowly new to it. And also HBCU, I feel like, HBCUs kind of are on the back end of things. We're gonna come up by the grace of God, but still, we're not really seeing.
Like we kind of just brushing the bottom right now. We're not at that level that we see other athletes when we talk about NIL are. Like I said, we talk about Angel Reese. We saw what she did last year, the year before when she was in college. And it's just like, we look up to those people, but the reality is that me and her could be the same age. And I'm at HBCU, she's at a PWI. She's doing her thing, I'm doing my thing. And even like Luciana has a lot of credits and things behind her name.
Lots of credits.
Lots. And it's not the same thing. Like me personally, I want to see the Olympics. That's just me though. But we're gonna get to that. My thing is though, we have 2 young women who are still doing outstanding things, and the standard for this one is a lot higher for this one, and the money just doesn't add up for me. But I'm sure that, like Luch said, God will continue to grace us. Everything happens for a reason. I know that through NIL, at least the next generation, they'll start to get more active in it. Maybe it'll get a lot better just so that it's not just like a side hustle. It's an actual thing for us to do.
So you have to work as hard on our end.
Yeah, but that's it. That's all I have.
No question about it. Thank you for that. All Aggies All In campaign is kicked off. Text to AAF, text to 71777. If you want to support these young ladies, support our student athletes, no question about it. It's going to be a campaign that we're really trying to build up these scholarship dollars so that we'll have money remaining in order to be able to help these young ladies in the collectives and the NIL and all of our student athletes. And so certainly a different day, a different dawn in college athletics. And so like these ladies mentioned, we may be in HBCU, but we also have to compete. I mean, we're competing with other Division I PWIs. And so get into that campaign and make sure that, we're giving to A&T, North Carolina A&T athletics. So much you can talk to you ladies about. Didn't want to leave this without the mental health piece and how each of you manage that in your own particular sport and in your own particular way, kind of how you approach that as you guys are trying to compete, as you guys are trying to win. And I guess I'll start with you, Cameron.
I pray. Thank you. No, I'm just playing. I live my life through prayer. I've gone to church since I was a kid, every Sunday with my grandma. So me being that Southern girl, church, if I can't go to church and we have a game that weekend, okay, I'm going on Zoom, going on Facebook Live at my cousin's church. We're doing something. So I try to stay as prayerful as possible. If I can fit in Bible study instead of like really just looking at a quick sermon, because I'm going to look at church more than I'm going to like do the Bible study aspect. But I still do try to go to Bible study as much as I can. But I know if I miss it, like if the practice is running late, I'm going to go watch a verse. I'm going to go watch somebody preach to me, and I'm going to sit there and praise my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. But more than all, I pray. And I think just after the prayer, trying to ground myself, understanding that the situation is we have a game or we have practice. This is how it's going to go. This is how your day is going to look. It's going to be okay. And I like what Luch talked about earlier, just your emotions. I've had to really like learn how to work through my emotions, especially since my father has passed, and just everything that's going on in my personal life with my mom and my family. Understanding how to navigate through my emotions and how to be calm and fight through the storm. And I think something I told the freshmen last year was it rained for 40 days, rained for 40 nights. But on that 41st day, the sun came out. And so for me, it's just that I know eventually the sun will come out. The sun has to come out. So nothing's going to last forever. And if I'm not having that good mental day, I know that the next day can be better. But I also try to look and internalize, what can I do to make this day better? What can I learn today? What can I get from God today so that I can be a better young woman in his grace, So I try to keep myself a little grounded. I know sometimes that it doesn't work for me at times, but more than anything, I just try to pray. That's really it.
But I got to get in on these NCAT athletic Bible studies because good.
But I think more than anything, I really do rely on my teammates. I do want to shout them out. I think this year, especially, and last year, just the past couple of years since Coach G has been here, these group of girls are very, very unique. Like, you couldn't ask for a better sisterhood. Like, this is a sisterhood that I want at my wedding. I want them all to contribute to my kids' college fund. Thank you. And I want them all to just be there. Like, I want to be able to call them when we're 50 something and we're doing the alumni weekend, or the next generation doing the 50th anniversary. You feel what I'm saying? But all jokes aside, I just really do appreciate my teammates and everything that they do for us. And when I say us, I mean the seniors this year, because they know that we've been through a lot, with all the coach changes and everything else. But I really appreciate them and their understanding about my personal life situation. So I rely on them and my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
There we go. Don't worry. Hey, listen, 50 will come quicker than you would expect. So,
Don't rush it. Don't rush
it. Take your time. Take your time. Same question to you, Weaver, in terms of mental health.
I'm having a brain fart. What was it again?
Just how do you prepare yourself from a mental standpoint as you have all these things that you have to do and you're expected to win and compete at the highest level?
I would say, like, it may sound cliche, but like what Cam said, just I try to stay in my word. But if we're speaking on a different note as well, I would have to say I really kind of, what I'm still learning, I'm not perfect. So some days I just get overstimulated and I got to just whatever. All my growth goes out the window. So, but I really try to just take every day for like what it is. I try not to let the little moments ruin the whole day because I typically used to do that. I would let a bad practice just ruin the rest of my day. Like I had a bad practice, I don't want to talk to anybody. I go into an isolated mode. So I also really depend and lean on like my close friends as well. Like they really keep me grounded there. I feel like it's so good to have a really good support system around you in college, a really good solid group of friends who are like-minded as you, because then they understand what you're going through, and it's a plus when they're on the same team as you as well, because they're understanding of we all have practice, we all have weights, we all have long days, we all have team meetings. So just being able to have somebody that goes through the same thing and can relate to you in that way as well. Um and like I said, I just kind of take every day for what it is. Like I one another thing too that I feel like I used to be very ungrateful and unappreciative of life, and then when I see everything else that's going on around me, I tell myself I have nothing to complain about. Like there's nothing that I should be complaining about because there's other people who don't even have a roof over their head. There's other people who's paying for college, who's trying to get through college. There's other people who don't have food on their table. So, just trying to keep a positive mindset in kind of everything that I do, and I'll turn a negative situation into a positive. Like I'll make a joke about something too to ease the mood. Like last year conference, was it? No, it wasn't last year. The year before, because last year was home. I got all four of my wisdom teeth pulled 2 days before conference, and I still went out there and competed. So like I was surviving off mashed potatoes and macaroni from Popeyes. It was real good, real good. But again, like it was a bad situation, but I turned it into a positive one. I try to push my limits of what can I do. I kind of think of it as like, let's see how far I can go, or what milestone can I cross now, because like I was really exhausted from not really being able to eat, but I told myself like I can do this. So at conference I was able to compete well. So yeah, just take life for what it is, man. You can't take it for granted because not everybody gets to wake up the next day. So I try not to complain. I try to just push through. I can see, I got breath in my lungs. Hey, that's it.
Outstanding, outstanding. You guys get to eat Popeyes and still have those look fit. So you guys are beyond blessed.
Still working on it.
Oh wait, it's Jiho. We're still on that diet. It's Jiho.
Yeah.
We gonna get the Popeyes next week after Saturday though.
I got
I be running that practice. That Popeyes is coming up. There's no Popeyes. Popeyes is coming up.
Shout out to Popeyes. I just gave them a free sponsorship there. But,
The mac and cheese,
free promo.
mashed potatoes with the gravy on top. I'm going to get Popeyes today. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Hey, Popeyes, look out for us. Call A&T. We got,
Come on.
yeah, y'all should give us some
Car.
sponsorship.
Really put you on the map,
Popeyes.
like,
You know
for
my
real.
car. You know my order. Go ahead and line me up.
That's right. That's right. All right, let's talk about IG. I got to get you guys out of here, man. But I enjoyed this. This was really fun. Cameron, really enjoyed your IG thing. Introduced us to the coaches. You beat Shaw. That was really cool. Just kind of what was kind of your mindset going in? What did you want to show us? Kind of what was your game plan, so to speak?
So at first, the first person I thought about was Lucius from last year, and I was like,
It was awesome.
like she woke up, like you feel me? She just woke up, morning, already face already done. Mind you, she had just said, "Y'all, I'm about to get up, do my hair really quick, get ready for practice." I was like, "What?" I thought she was ready, but I was like kind of confused because I've always done small things with social media, and I assist with the softball social media page, so the different edits and everything, and even like some of the videos. So my mindset was like, do I want to add camera pizzazz? Am I allowed to add camera pizzazz? Like,
I seen that. The little
can I not do?
It was cute though. It added a little Shazam to it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The little
I was
memes
texting Miss
I
April.
thought that was cute.
Come on. I was texting Miss April, and I was like, I was like, "Hey, Miss April, can I see you a video really quick?" She was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Am I allowed to post this, or like, should I just tone it down a little bit?" Because I've always known, I call it the Atlanta effect. I have a very big personality, and I'm very, very loud and just in your face. But I also like entertainment. Like, I'm a musical theater brat. I like to make people laugh. I love entertaining, and I love social media. So I was like, if I'm gonna be on NCAT Athletics, I gotta go out with a bang, like a bang. And so I was just happy and proud that I could at least bring my creativeness that I use on my personal page to NCAT Athletics, because I know it helped a lot with SAC last year and some of like the community jobs that they tried to do. That they did do. Sorry. But just even going into NCAT athletics, like by the end of the day, I had some of the alumni texting like, "Oh, like your videos were funny. Can you do this?" Da, da, da. Or like I had some of like the alumni from volleyball or basketball saying, "Oh, like how did you do your video like this? Like how did you get your edits?" Da, da, da. But I also had Laura Rogers from last year who just graduated, and she was like, "Cameron, NCAT athletics messed up putting you on their page." I know that's right. So her saying that, and honestly, Laura's like my big supporter when it comes to me posting anything social media. I just knew I did my biggest one, and I just knew that I did whatever I needed to do, whatever my goal for that day was. But I also wanted to give you guys a quick little insight of what kind of our day in the life is, but that's really how my whole day goes with game day. Like I try to be as mellow and calm down as I can because I know the second I get too hyperactive, my ADHD starts kicking in and I'm off focus. I'm all the way out here. But Mr. Holloway, I already know, like, you come to a game, like, once I'm locked in, I'm set in, and I know what my goal is. And my goal is to just push our team towards getting that ring. Isn't that what everybody's goal is? So that was my goal during that day, just to make sure that I was getting the laughs, make sure that I was bringing the environment together, making sure that I was bringing the energy, just everything that I could from my personality out to NCAT athletics and just bringing that momentum for whoever was coming in for the next day. So that was my niche.
Let me tell you, you did an outstanding job. It was very entertaining. It was very good. I was like, we might need to hire her because the edits were just on time. You know, it is an honor and a pleasure to kind of watch, you know, you ladies compete. It really, really is. You guys are at the top of your game. And so certainly that it was a pleasure. And you know, my people were coming and were like, hey, we did Luciana last year. I was like, I know. like yeah, we gotta get that back, you know. So we were kind of just take us through your journey. You got the pep rally day, so you know, you kind of took us inside of Club Corbett a little bit,
Yes.
but kind of just take us through that.
So like last year, I feel like my whole sole goal is to like show the personalities of like the track team. I feel like we have so many personalities on the team. We have such a big personality, and I feel like we really light up like every room that we step in. And then like it's like I'll get it started, and they'll just take it over the top. Like I feel like I'm just the team's biggest like. I just egg everybody on. Like I want everybody to just yeah get up here. So I had a kind of a slow morning because like I said, I didn't have to get up. There was no weights, no class, no nothing. I slept in because my days are long. So I had to work the day prior. I slept in. So I still got up a pretty decent time. Like I said, did my Bible study, all of that stuff. Then I had to tutor. So, you know, then I had to fix my hair for the pep rally.
I know that's
and
right.
That's when the party started. That's when the show started, just for the pep rally. And I had to make sure, like, I didn't want to flood the page too much with the pep rally because it was supposed to be like a day in the life thing. But we had a time. The pep rally was super fun, and like just being able to support each of the teams there, like get everybody involved. Like, you know, even though it was like track and field takeover, you know, I made sure cheer was involved and like the other sports. So like I loved it. Like I feel like I have a big personality as well. And I was never like this. I was very quiet. Like my freshman year too, I was very like quiet. And in high school, I didn't really say too much. So like I feel like I was able to get out of my shell coming here. And
You are out of your shell. I will tell you that you are way out of your shell. Quiet when I would have loved to see that.
No, Luch was just a tad quiet because when I first met her, she was not speaking.
Everybody
I was like,
thought I was
hi.
mean. Like, yes, everybody thought I was mean.
She's the sweetest little thing that you ever met. Like,
everybody thought I was mean because I just didn't really say much. But it's like I think it's a comfortability thing. Don't let me get comfortable. I'm showing my tail. Like I'm having fun. But like that's just how I am on a day-to-day basis. Like I love to laugh. I love to joke. I love to crack jokes. I do everything. So just being able to have everybody else see like my personality and like, you know, how we are when the sports teams get together and feel like we are like one big family. Just the way that we were just all dancing, laughing, joking, like enjoying time. I really enjoyed it. The pep rally is always fun to me. I always have a time for pep rally. So
yes.
No doubt. And shout out to Fort Myers. Shania Clark. I think she's a Fort Myers.
Yeah, she went to Fort Myers High School. We were rival schools in basketball.
So okay.
They used to beat us.
Yeah. Because she's pretty good. Yeah.
Yes. We actually took a Fort Myers media day picture. Kevin tried to be funny. He's like, "Yeah, y'all take a Fort Myers picture." So he actually took a picture of us.
Kevin actually just posted his old A&T picture.
I see that.
Today.
I see that. Yeah. He hasn't aged a bit. He's crazy.
Okay. Looks exactly the same.
Exactly the same. He does. No doubt. Hey, shout out to you guys. Shout out to Angel Ortiz Baseball for helping us out. Antoine Bell for helping us out. It's Demaya Tucker tomorrow, women's basketball. So check out Demaya Tucker tomorrow. I kid with her. She's in her 10th year going for a PhD. But no, Demaya's been with us for a while.
You messy, Mr. Holloway. You messy.
But no, Demaya's a great young lady, and does a lot of videos and promos for us. Did the Chancellor's reception video for us, along with Aaron Harris and Corian Sharp and Paris Locke. So shout out to all of those guys for all the help that they do help us with. And Cameron Caldwell and Luciana Weaver, you guys were awesome on your IG pages, and you were awesome here on the Pridecast. I had a blast talking to you ladies, getting to know your stories, getting to know your journeys, getting to know how much you love the Lord. And you guys keep striving. Young Black women, y'all do your thing, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Amen.
Thank you for having us.
No doubt. I enjoyed this.
I have a hard time talking in front of people sometimes, but yeah, I'm like, ooh,
what? Okay, chat.
I'm looking right.
Yeah. You guys look great. You look great. Yeah, you look good. So we'll see you guys next time. We'll see you next week. Thank you once again. Happy homecoming to everybody. Enjoy G-Ho. Be safe for homecoming. We don't want homecoming ending at 7 o'clock like Central. So be safe for homecoming. No doubt.
Ended at 6. Actually.
6. Ooh,
we're gonna do 5:30.
But we can push it to 9.
Go to bed. Got class in the morning.
Good night, guys. Take care.
Good night.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.